The year is 2016. I'm 21 years old, and I've entered my fourth year at university. My third year, my fourth year. My third fourth year, third year. Make sense? So, here we are. Finally finished second year, and we're in our final year of our undergrad in our sports science degree. We've moved houses, and we're in a room share, a share house. So we're going to touch on the same subjects: education, sport, money, accommodation, friends, relationships, gambling, drugs, and we're going to see what it's saying this time around. So let's make a start. Dissertation year. So you'd think that'd be hella intense. So in hindsight, it's not that hard, but when you come into it, it's intense. You wouldn't want to do it again, but when you do a master's, you see why it's just like, well, it's not even that bad. So your dissertation basically carries out throughout the whole year, and it's a process. Do you know what, we'll touch on that first. So with your dissertation, well, at least our dissertation, Leeds Beckett Sports Science, there's a process which starts off with ethics. But in order for you to get your ethics approved, you need to have an idea, and your idea needs to be approved by basically bossman and bossman. So my dissertation was about, what was it? Hold that for. This was my dissertation. This is what it was about. Variability of muscle activation during amateur jump testing. So what I did was I got some basketball players, we did some vertical jumps. Basically it was supposed to be 2 times a day. I hope last I had to see this, but I had to lie because then basketball it took so long to get back to me in terms of when we did it. So when I did get them in, I just got them to do all their jumps at one time, and basically my results are illegitimate. And to be fair, a lot of people lie about their results, because it's like more time you trying to get a grade, and people don't realize that you're on a clock. So when they're messing around and saying they'll do this time, don't show up, or they'll do this time and change last minute, they don't realize that they're wasting your time, which is the only flaw about collecting your own data when you're doing your dissertation. But other than that, so like once your ethics is approved, you can, if you're doing a primary study like I did, you basically pilot your idea, which is basically to do a trial run of your experiment to see if it's feasible, see if it's going to run, and see if it's going to run exactly the way you want to run it. And worst case scenario, you make some errors. So you make some errors and modify them before you even do the real thing, because it's not cool when you run up to the real thing and your study just doesn't work. Then you're going to be capital F up, F'd up. So I didn't start writing my dissertation until January, but I was quite strategic in the way I wrote my dissertation. So I wrote my dissertation pretty much 70% of it on paper first, because the methodology, you should just know what it is because you're doing it. There's no referencing in your methodology. Well, to a degree, it depends if your method has been extracted by a study that's already been done. But other than that, you kind of just know what you're doing. So you know, it shouldn't take too long to write the methodology. So I planned out my dissertation by hand, basically wrote section by section by hand, and I, not obviously word for word, because that's 10,000 words basically, but you kind of just draft out what you want to say in that paragraph, and I scripted it up. So when I was actually writing it, it didn't take me too long because I knew exactly what I was writing, sourced out what I was looking for, wrote it down on paper, and did the full draft at the end. So my thing is, as long as you've got or given yourself enough time to write your dissertation, there's nothing to worry about. Because see me, this is how I wrote my dissertation. After so we have 2 modules. I'll get back to that because it makes sense. We have 2 modules at the beginning of the year, 2 modules at the end of the year. So basically, bang those out, focus on the ethics, kind of at the same time, and then I lie. So it was, you bang out your ethics and then focus on your modules this time around. And on this side, it's kind of like you do it at the same time, but I banged out those modules and then did my data collection whilst doing all of the work. And then the write-up was just easy. Now the write-up, here's how I wrote my write-up. 3 games of FIFA in the morning, go to the library after that, go gym. No. 3 games of FIFA. Oh, 3 games of FIFA first, and then I'll go to the library to work on my disc 2-3 hours. Then I'll go gym for an hour or two. Then I'll come back to the library after for another 2 hours, and I play FIFA for the rest of the day. That's how I wrote my dissertation, and here I am today. So you've got more than enough time to mess around in your third year, as long as you're organised like I am. I retired from sport this year. Like I said, the year before was my final year playing team sport. However, I did take part in varsity because the rowing team needed me. You know, it's nice to be needed. The rowing team needed me, so I took part in that. But other than that, that was the last piece of team sport in activity that I took part in at university. After that, it was just gym. So, like I said, wake up, library, gym for 2 hours, and back to the dissertation. Because this, for me, I was more concerned about banging grades, or at least graduating from uni. Because I mean, when you've done 4 years, you ain't trying to do 4 years and come out with no grades. Like, certain man can come to university and do 3-4 years and leave with nothing. What a waste of peas. Man's not wasting peas, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to put money and gambling together, because the only reason I ever was lacking money, if I was lacking money, it was because I spent a fair bit of my money gambling. Obviously, you lose some, you win some, and you do some. When you win some, you make some of the loss back, but you probably lose more. That was just a story of the year. There was, do you know what I've even been forgetting? So during the year before and this year, if there was ever a time that I was struggling with money, there was this thing called SmartPig. I'm gonna try and find a website. Maybe I could put the website here. And if it doesn't show there, then I really flopped that. But so SmartPig, basically, if you use SmartPig, you basically want to time it at the same time your student loan drops in, but only use it if you've got no P's, because if you do use it just for the sake of it, and you run out of P's, well, you're going to be owing them and there. So the reason you want to use SmartPig in line with your arrival of your student loan is, like, for example, I might have needed 30 quid or 40 quid here, so I'll go on SmartPig, put in all my deals, let them know that my student loan is dropping in a week or two. They will charge you interest, obviously, but the more money you take, the more the interest. So like, that's why you want to take less money, or just what you need. So like, I used to take maybe like 60 quid, pay them like 60 or 70 pound interest, but basically you're giving them 10 pound, because by the time your student loan comes in, you probably still got some of that money left over. At least that was me, not wasting peas. Well, wasting peas gambling, but not wasting these peas. Strategic loss of money. So SmartPig is a nice little saver if you don't want to ask the parents for peas, because I don't really like asking people for money unless they absolutely have to. I lived in a shared house. Who's that Brittany? This year I lived in a shared house. Basically, it was my first time moving into a shared house. I lived with 3 girls and one other guy, and it was actually pretty cushy. The yard was cool. My only problems this is actually a really good share house, but the only problem I had with the share house was that one of the girls I lived with just wasn't the best at living, in the sense that, do you know what it is? I'm picky, but I mean, I'm sure if you saw black toothpaste spat in a sink that hasn't been washed up either, you'd probably be picky too. Or if that person was the only one that's sleeping plates, you'd be noticing this thing too. Or at least if you're picky like me. But at the same time, maybe, at least I noticed it, because like my hair was big that time. So like with me, I think my thing that would have annoyed other people is that when I'm picking my hair with my Afro comb, so my hair would be like in places that I can't always see, and then I see it later. But I arrange that, or I deal with it. But that's the only thing that I would say I was doing that was annoying. It was, no one brought it up. I just found it jarring, because if I saw that, or somebody else saw that, I'm just considerate. I wouldn't want someone to see that, so, you know what I'm saying? But the house was pretty cool, and the walls were pretty thin. And the reason I knew that the walls were pretty thin was because, next issue, relationships, one of the girls that I was seeing was making too much noise. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things you want to watch out for a shared house car. Can't do that. What do you mean you can do it if you don't mind? I'm quite conscious about that. I don't really like people hearing stuff like that. It's just not right. It's not, I ain't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So, one of the good things about living in the shared house was that rent was really cheap, which is why maybe I gambled so much, because I had so much extra money to gamble with, because I had so little rent to pay. I think it was only like it would have been less than 400 quid. Because all I really had was, it wasn't a small room, it was a really nice room, but with the room I got, it was probably like this size, just a bit more organised. Maybe that room was a little bit bigger, but I think my room was pretty similar to what I'm paying in this house, which is also a shared house. Find out about one later. So, with the relationships, so this year I kind of started to get over my mess up from 2 years before, and my mental female blockage from the year before. So this year I finally started, I guess you could say I started dating again. I kind of had a girl I was seeing from like January to the end of the school year, and our relationship was great because, and it wasn't a relationship like that, but the relationship that we had was great because it was kind of like we were both third years, we were both trying to, graduate. So like it was kind of a thing of, at the end of the week when we finished grinding, we chill. Simple as that. You chill. I see you, maybe I might see you during the week, but it wasn't a thing of, I'm the type of person, I don't even like getting people up. So like, only when I want to see you or you want to see me, that's perfect. At that time it was perfect. So I think that's where I started to get my groove back, where I started being able to be more Eramaseli, you know what I'm saying? Be more me. So that year though was, do you know what, before I met this girl that I spent a lot of my time this year with, I actually saw Bay. I keep calling her Bay. Let's call her T from now on, because we don't want to call her Bay no more. I saw T on that December. I saw her that December, and although man was on the way, I was kind of like getting over it. Maybe seeing her wasn't a good idea, because the information I heard just kind of messed man's head up. Because like, yeah, we don't need to talk about that. We just know the information wasn't the best information I wanted to hear. But we're cool in it, we're friends. But yeah, man. Certain things just need to let go, and I should have just moved on. Like, we're here now, innit? But at that time, it just probably wasn't the best thing to meet her. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but I'm looking at my notes, I'm just like, yo, I didn't really do anything this year. I did my books, I was gambling, I started seeing girls again, I graduated, I got my personal training qualification at the end of the year, which is what set me up. To be fair, I guess that's something to talk about, because that was an extracurricular activity. At the end of the school year, I did a personal training qualification, which helped me become a personal trainer now. I also applied to start doing it. See, as I got older, the older I got, the more inclined I was to want to try out and do a master's. And at the end of this year, I actually ended up, not even at the end of it, at the beginning of the year, I just applied for the sake of applying to see how things pan out. And I actually got a place at Beckett, and I only specifically picked Beckett because I'm already here and they give you a discount. But I wanted to go to Middlesex, but the problem with Middlesex is that I had to live at home, and I wasn't trying to live at home anymore for family reasons. Everyone but one. But yeah, man's well behaved. Man was moving forward in life. You evolve. I went from not wanting to do one to doing one, a master's. And I went from failing first year to graduating. And I went from not being able to speak to the females to speaking to the females. I evolved and I made it. Yes.